So we start. Welcome everyone to the press conference for the Republic of Korea's Security Council presidency in June. My name is Dongjun Kim. Just call me DJ, and I'm the media focal point of the Korean mission. For today's briefing, we have permanent representative of the Republic of Korea to the United Nations, Ambassador Jungkook Hwang, and our political coordinator Jun Park joined us as well. As usual, we will begin with Ambassador Hwang providing an overview of the program of work for the month of June, and then we will take questions. Ambassador, now you have the floor.
Thank you for coming, everyone. Good afternoon. It is my special honor to present the program of work during the Republic of Korea's presidency of the UN Security Council for the month of June. Let me begin by briefly sharing my views on the meaning and the importance of my country's tenure as a Security Council member. The Republic of Korea holds a special relationship with the United Nations and also enjoys this distinctive character that throughout its history, the ROK has never inflicted any harm on other countries. We also developed rapidly following the Korean War, alongside the active assistance and engagement of the United Nations. This makes the ROK one of the few economically advanced countries in the UN that retains recent memories of underdevelopment, yet does not have historical debt, nor any hidden agenda in relation to most international peace and security issues. I believe that this helps us position ourselves on the majority of the Security Council agendas in a constructive and straightforward manner, based on the spirit and the principles of the UN Charter. As we begin our role of stewarding the Security Council for this month, Korea is committed to guiding the Council with efficiency, transparency, and inclusiveness during our presidency. Our aim is to streamline communication and enhance the Council's effectiveness, ensuring a proactive, engaged, and result-based approach. Now, I will briefly overview the program of work for this month. In June, the Security Council is facing a notably busy schedule, holding many significant mandated meetings. As of now, we have 15 briefings and 12 consultations on our monthly program of work. Issues in Africa and the Middle East account for a significant portion of the Council's agenda. Regarding Africa, meetings are scheduled including Somalia, Sudan, the Central African Republic. On the Middle East, we will have discussions including Syria, Yemen, Iraq, UNITAD, and Israeli settlements. In addition, we are slated to hold a meeting on Afghanistan. Separately, we'll also be tackling key non-proliferation issues, specifically in relation to Syria chemical weapons and the Iran nuclear issue. Furthermore, there are 5 meetings scheduled for the adoption of Security Council resolutions. One is about renewing DR Congo sanctions regime, and the others are related to extending mandates, including the Ombudsperson and the monitoring team of the ISIL and Al-Qaeda Sanctions Committee, monitoring team UNDOF in Golan Heights, UNSOS and ATMIS in Somalia, and the IRMCT, International Residual Mechanism for Criminal Tribunals. And of course, we envision that there may be additional meetings upon request, especially when it comes to the fluid and deeply concerning security and humanitarian situations in both Gaza and Ukraine, the 2 dominant issues over the last several months in the Security Council. For the signature event of our presidency, we are honored to host a high-level open debate on cybersecurity on June 20th. Cybersecurity is one of the priorities for our Security Council term. Our Foreign Minister, Jo Tae-yeol, will preside over the meeting, and we expect Secretary General and the CSO guests to join us as briefers. Malicious activities in cyberspace, such as cyber attacks and the targeting of critical infrastructure are already widely considered to constitute or amplify threats to international peace and security. With their transnational nature, addressing evolving cyber threats is an imminent task for all UN member states, including the most vulnerable or developing countries. The Security Council, which holds the primary responsibility for the maintenance of international peace and security, therefore needs to enhance its role and engagement on this critical and timely topic of cybersecurity. We hope that the upcoming high-level open debate can serve as a stepping stone in this regard. We will also hold the Security Council's annual open debate on children and armed conflict, CAC, on June 26th. This event will provide a chance for UN member states to discuss ways to respond to grave violations against children in armed conflict, based on the Secretary General's forthcoming annual report on CAC, which is to be published in mid-June. In addition to 3 briefers typically invited, the CAC SRSG, UNICEF Executive Director, and the CSO briefer, we also invited the 8th Secretary General of the United Nations, Ban Ki-moon, as a briefer representing the elders. We expect his deep experience and unique insight will enrich this year's CAC discussion, particularly given the significant developments in the CAC mandate during his tenure as Secretary General. We will also hold a briefing on tolerance as mandated by Resolution 2686, which was adopted by the Security Council last year. Regarding Korea's other priorities among thematic issues in the Security Council, women, peace and security, WPS, climate and security, and peacekeeping and peace building, we will make effort to elevate these important agenda items and make them more relevant in Council discussions. As a proud signatory of the shared commitments on WPS, the Republic of Korea will highlight the importance of protecting women in armed conflicts and enhancing their vital roles and participation in all stages of peace processes. To this end, we will designate the briefing meeting on Sudan as a WPS-focused meeting with the Women Civil Society briefer and the media stakeout. And as a pledging country of the Joint Pledges on Climate, Peace and Security, CPS, we are committed to better integrating the CPS nexus in the Council's considerations through an evidence-based approach. We plan to lead a joint media stakeout with other like-minded Council members on the occasion of the UNAMA briefing, highlighting the impacts of climate change on peace and security in Afghanistan. Also, as one of the major contributors to peace operations, that we are also committed to continue our efforts to lead the ongoing discussions on the future of UN peace operations. In this regard, our Foreign Minister will participate in the special session of the Peace Building Commission on June 21st to share the key findings of the Asia-Pacific Regional Consultation on Peace Building Review held in Seoul last week. In addition, we chair of the Security Council's Working Group on Peacekeeping Operations will continue our work to reinvigorate the working group. Last but not least, peace and stability on the Korean Peninsula is one of our core interests. In this light, we stand ready to convene a meeting in response to any possible provocations by the DPRK, as the Council did just last week. At the same time, the advancement of the DPRK's WMD program is closely intertwined with the dire human rights and humanitarian situation in the country, like two sides of the same coin. In this regard, we firmly believe that the Security Council should not neglect the latent risks that systematic human rights violations in the DPRK pose to international peace and security. Human rights and peace and security issues should be approached in a holistic manner, especially in the case of the DPRK. Against this backdrop, during our presidency, we intend to hold an open briefing meeting as the Council did in August last year. The Republic of Korea, as the President of the Security Council for the month of June, will closely communicate and cooperate not only with fellow Council members, but also with all UN member states, UN bodies and secretariat, civil society, and the media in our humble service to contribute to the maintenance of international peace and security. Thank you again for coming today, and I'm happy to take your questions.
When you ask a question, please let us know your name and affiliation. As practice, the first question goes to Valeria, the president of the United Nations Correspondents Association.
Thank you so much, and thank you, Ambassador, for this press conference. On behalf of the UN Correspondent Association, we wish you the best of luck for the busy month ahead. Valeria Robecco from ANSA Newswire. My question is on the draft resolution on Rafah. Can you give us a few details on how we are with the draft resolution? Are you planning a vote soon? Some good news on more members of the Security Council on board. Thank you so much.
Am I supposed to answer question one by one? Okay, on Rafah, as you said, the proposal, the draft resolution proposed by Algeria is now on the table, and the discussions and negotiation on the draft resolution is ongoing now. And we are also seeing some developments regarding diplomatic efforts, the negotiation, not in the Security Council, but in other places. That is also very important. So this, our discussions and negotiation on this draft resolution may take some time. I won't prejudge where our discussions may lead to. We will see. As presidency, we will strive to facilitate the process, and we will conduct the meetings, of course, in accordance with the appropriate rules.
Next question, Eddie, please.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ambassador. Edith Lederer from the Associated Press. Could you tell us whether on your signature events, especially the one on the cybersecurity, you are expecting any outcome? Will we see a presidential statement or a Security Council resolution? And your presidency is beginning as your government just announced the suspension of a rapprochement agreement with the DPRK. Are you planning to bring this up in any way during your presidency?
So 2 questions. On cybersecurity, that is our signature event. We are not, at the moment, we are not planning to produce any outcome document in the form of PRST or the resolution. We do not intend to focus on any particular malicious behavior or any particular countries. Rather, we intend to gather the collective wisdom of all UN member states on the key question, how the Security Council, as a primary organ responsible for the maintenance of international peace and security, should and can address this emerging but critical security matter in a manner complementary to the ongoing discussions in the General Assembly. So we are keen on enhancing the role and attention of the Security Council, engagement, more active engagement of the Security Council on this matter. And the second question about the DPRK, we just heard the news, and these days, and over the last several days alone, North Korea engaged in the provocations, major provocations, including multiple short-range ballistic missile tests and also military reconnaissance tests, and sending bizarre the balloons filled with the trash, and so on. And we are now responding. We respond firmly to North Korean provocations, including the meeting, the Security Council meeting we participated last week. And we stand ready to convene a meeting of the Security Council anytime in response to the provocations by the DPRK.
Just as a quick follow-up, who do you expect the briefers to be at the cybersecurity event?
Briefers, the Secretary General, and one CSO briefer, two CSO briefers.
Another, please.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Ambassador. Good luck for the month of June. I'd like to ask about the meeting on Sudan on the 18th of June. You mentioned that the Republic of Korea would like to link this to the Women, Peace and Security agenda item. Naturally, the situation in Al Fasher and northern Darfur is extremely urgent right now, and women and children are disproportionately impacted. Is there any plan for the Security Council to put forward any product or outcome concerning Sudan during the month of June?
Sudan situation is total catastrophe. I mean, in political, security, and humanitarian fronts, it's really distressing. And Al Fasher is also now escalating day by day. So we may pursue some outcome. It depends on council members. As presidency, we will facilitate the discussions, and if any, we try to fill the gaps among the member states. Members of members of the Security Council, and all council members agree. We share the view that we must address the Sudan situation more actively, more deeply. The Sudan situation has been relatively overlooked, so it's time to take action.
Next question goes to Margaret.
Thank you, Ambassador. Margaret Bashir, Voice of America. Thanks for the briefing and good luck this month. I just want to follow up a bit on Nade's question about Sudan. Have you had feedback yet today from council members on the draft resolution that the British are putting forward on Al Fasher? I understand that perhaps Russia prefers a press statement over a resolution. So does this mean that this isn't going to come for a vote anytime soon? And if you can't do a resolution, what other tools are in your toolbox in the Security Council that you might use to prevent this catastrophe from going further in Al Fasher? Thank you.
Margaret, I think you receive news more rapidly than I receive. Yeah, we are aware of some moves in the Security Council and some discussions about to begin on some particular outcome document. Yeah, as I said, we will see, and we will facilitate these discussions as a presidency.
Next question goes to gentleman. I'm sorry, my apologies, not
No
recognizing
problem,
by
sir.
name.
Okay.
And then next question would be Michelle. Okay.
My name is Abdul Hamid Sayam from the Arabic daily Al-Quds Al-Arabi. Mr. Ambassador, you have voted in favor of recognizing Palestine as a full member of the United Nations in the Security Council and in the General Assembly. Would we expect South Korea to recognize Palestine in earnest and exchange diplomatic relations with Palestine in the near future? And also, what is your intake on Rafah and the atrocities being committed in front of the world eyes? As you can see now, 1 million has been displaced in the last few days. Thank you so much.
On Palestine question, as you mentioned, the Republic of Korea voted in favor of both the General Assembly and the Security Council, the resolution regarding the admission of Palestine into the United Nations. The reason was the current Gaza situation actually heightened remind us of the need to revive talks and negotiations and toward the two-state solution, and highlight the need to reinvigorate some diplomatic efforts toward the two-state solution, and also it reminds us of the need to move forward the political process which has been stalled the last many years. So we voted in favor of those resolutions, but as a separate matter, it does not mean that we recognize Palestine as a state. We will do that in a more appropriate time as we decide on the timing. And the Rafah situation, it is really, really terrible to see what's going on in Rafah. All council members agree. All council members voiced a strong opposition to a major ground offensive in Rafah. And all council members, most council members, they agreed to the immediate ceasefire, and also the immediate ceasefire and the release of all remaining hostages, and also expanded and the unimpeded delivery of humanitarian assistance. And we urge all parties to comply with international law, including international humanitarian law. Yeah, that's clear. And we also hope that the ongoing negotiations between the direct parties and supported by U.S., Qatar, and Egypt, these negotiations will lead to some fruitful outcome soon.
Yeah, Michelle, please.
Thanks, Ambassador. Michelle Nichols from Reuters. Just wanted to follow up on the North Korea human rights meeting. When are you hoping to have that? Did Russia and China express any opposition to holding that? Do you have 9 votes if someone decides to call a procedural vote? Thank you.
Yes, we plan to have meeting in mid-June, and last year we held that meeting, public meeting of the Security Council without the procedural vote. That was the first time actually we convened the meeting without procedural vote, and because that time the overwhelming support to have a meeting, actually that surpassed some dissenting views. So we hope that the same, that atmosphere remains the same this year. And some countries have some reservations about these human rights issues being discussed in the Security Council. We know their logic, but unlike unlike human rights situations in other countries, the North Korean human rights situation is officially on the Security Council agenda. This is unique to North Korea, and there are some good reasons for it. The DPRK human rights and humanitarian situation is closely interlinked with North Korea's aggressive weapons, the aggressive WMD nuclear development.
Yuya, please.
Thank you, Ambassador, for the briefing. So my name is Yu from Kyoto News Japanese media. My question is a follow-up of DPRK. As you know, since 2018, Security Council have not taken any action like resolution, presidential restatement. So as your own national capacity, so what do you think about it? And then how do you persuade Russia and China?
Yeah, we have been not able to reach consensus, reach the decision, the Security Council decision since 2017, right? And we experienced some vetoes on North Korea issues. The situation is getting worse, but the dynamics in the Security Council not changed very much. And recently, as you all know, the panel of experts, the mandate could not be extended single-handedly by the veto of Russia. So under these circumstances, as you suggested, it is extremely difficult to take effective action. Despite all the major provocations and the very aggressive and dangerous the circumstances, we could not take action, and so we will try to find some common ground with the other members of the council, and we will continue to try to take some action in close consultation with the panholder, U.S. and Japan and other countries.
Next question goes to Carrier, and then I recognize Doji, right, and Lily.
Thank you, DJ. Hi, Ambassador. Good luck for the month of June. A quick follow-up on this question about the panel of sanctions. Can you explain us two things? First, what are going to be the direct consequences for you not to have the panel, for this Russian veto, and how it's going to make your work as the 15 members of the Security Council more complicated? And second question, what kind of solutions can you implement, and could you try to implement to overcome them?
You mean alternative?
Yes.
The DPRK sanctions regime is one of the most sweeping and comprehensive sanctions regime. It's the most complicated regime. So sometimes it is difficult for member states to grasp the whole picture. That's why the panel of experts played a critical role over the last 15 years. They provided information. They provided UN member states with the necessary information to implement sanctions, and also regarding sanctions evasions and violations. Now, without panel, it is very difficult to now we are in difficult situation. Yeah? We have 17-18 committee remains in place, but there is no panel of experts to support the work of the 17-18 committee. We need not just some like-minded countries, but also all UN member states. They need the information from the panel of experts. So we need to come up with some mechanism, the alternative mechanism. We are considering various options, the weighing up the merits and the potential risks of each option. But it is a little premature for us to tell you what options we are prioritizing now.
Ambassador Huang, Xu Dezhi with China Central Television. First, wish you a successful presidency. We noticed that this might be the first time we have Republic Korea, Japan, and China, 3 Eastern Asian countries together in the Security Council. Though 3 countries obviously have differences, but do you have any common ground to work with? And secondly, I'm personally very impressed by your statement on the Gaza situation last week when you talked about the tragic mistake that IDF claims that you said, and I quote, when such incidents are repeated again and again and the children and the aid worker keep being killed, it will be difficult for anybody to regard them as mistakes. So I asked this question before, but given the situation, what tools do you have for the Security Council to really implement the past 3 resolutions, not mentioning the current one in discussion, the Algerian draft resolution? Thank you.
The first question about Korea, Japan, China, the 3 countries together, I think this is first time now in 28 years. We were there together in 1997, and over the last 30 years, the geopolitics have changed, and dynamics in the Security Council have changed, and we have some difficulties in terms of the trilateral cooperation. We have some different views on some questions, but this Security Council, we have to meet every day. You cannot escape. So this provides us with the continuous and persistent diplomatic space. So the Security Council, through the Security Council activities, we can promote the mutual understanding, and also we will try to find some common ground on some issues, and we are keen on expanding the areas of cooperation. And when we see some differences, let differences be there, but we still, because these 3 countries are very significant countries in terms of economy and politics and military, we need to cooperate more, not just to enhance peace and stability in the region, but for the world. So we will make efforts. And at least we maintain very good relations with ambassadors. Personally, we are friends, and we will keep going in that way. The Rafah, you said it is very important. All council members agree that it is very important to implement the existing resolutions, right? Adding resolutions to resolutions do not resolve the conflict. So the implementation of resolutions are very important, and not just the Republic of Korea, but almost all the council members, they call for immediate, without delay, the implementation of all resolutions, especially ceasefire and release of all hostages and expanded and unimpeded delivery of humanitarian assistance. So, the situation on the ground, it is very deplorable and very distressing. We will keep our efforts to improve the situation. We just do what we can do.
Very quick follow-up. Will the Republic of Korea support the Algerian draft resolution?
Algerian draft resolution?
Will Korea support it?
Yeah, we need instruction from Seoul.
Yeah, I have Lily and 2 more gentlemen over there.
Thank you, Ambassador. I'm Lily Chen from Hong Kong Phoenix TV. So we see that South Korea said it's going to suspend entirely of the September 19 military agreement with DPRK in response to the balloon incident until there will be a mutual trust rebuilt by the 2 countries. So would you consider to pursue a serious dialogue with DPRK to rebuild the trust? And also we see that the US, Japan, and Korea are going to have a trilateral military exercise this summer. So do you think that would be a way to pursue the aim of rebuilding the trust?
I think we are under now the final internal discussions among the, I mean, in my government to now announce that agreement, the military agreement, will be revoked. And I just want to remind you that the Kim Jong-un, the North Korean leader himself, announced the new concept, new policy. I mean, new framework for inter-Korean relationship. He said that South Korea is not any longer the fellow nation. And, from now on, he said he will regard South Korea as a foreign country and a foreign enemy, the most hostile foreign enemy. And they now in the process of deleting the word reunification from its constitution. And this shift, he himself said that this is departure from the more than 70-year-old policy. So this dramatic shift coincides with their focus on tactical nuclear weapons. Tactical nuclear weapons, short range, all kinds of sophisticated tactical nuclear weapons. In the past, they claimed that their nuclear weapons are just a deterrent against U.S. That means longer missiles may be more important. But now, recently they announced they are ready to use nuclear weapons against South Korea. It is related. I mean, they now announce South Korea is a foreign country, and in the past they said our nuclear weapons not intended to use against our own the fellow nation. Now, since the South Korea is a foreign enemy, logically they may say that now it's time. I mean, they consider using nuclear weapons against South Korea, and he himself declared South Korea is a foreign enemy to be subjugated, using all the weapons, including nuclear weapons. So this is just 3 months ago, not 3 months, no, 6 months ago, now June, right? So it was announced in January. So their nuclear policy and the rhetoric on inter-Korean relationship getting more and more aggressive and dangerous. So this is the background against which my government responds in a resolute manner. And about the trilateral military exercises, it has been a long-standing defensive exercises. They're always transparent and always announced before, and this is the defensive in nature. And the military cooperation between Korea, Japan, and U.S., trilateral military cooperation, as you know, not prohibited at all by Security Council resolutions, unlike DPRK, Russia military cooperation.
Thank you, Ambassador Benne Schwinghammer with the German press agency. Good luck next month. Valeria and Deji already asked about the Rafah resolution, which is being discussed right now. On the same matter, on Gaza, did you receive a draft resolution from the United States based on President Biden's peace plan?
No.
Thank you.
No.
Thanks so much, Alan Bulkati from news agency RIA Novosti. Wish you best of luck during your presidency. I have a follow-up on the question regarding the intra-Korean military agreement of 2018. Could you please clarify on behalf of you, I mean in your national capacity, could you clarify, are you going to revoke it or are you going to suspend it, and when should we expect a decision on this? Thank you.
I have no accurate information on that, to be frank with you. The decision will be made soon, I think. And as far as I understand, we are going to suspend it. And I want to remind you that almost all, I mean 90% of military agreement already been violated again and again by DPRK. So just the maintaining that, just keeping it in place does not mean anything. And so our decision to suspend it actually not very dramatic in terms of ground conditions.
So it's already 1:40. So I see two more colleagues raising hand. Thirst first.
Hi, I'm Dulcie Limebuck from Pass Blue. I just wanted to know what you are attributing the increased hostilities from the DPRK against South Korea. And also, what is it like to live with such a provocative neighbor day in and day out for Koreans? Thanks.
왜 그렇게 도발적인 행위를 하는지. So your first question was why North Korea engage in provocative actions?
Yeah, why more hostility since January, you said?
Since January, yeah, that's a good question. Actually, this is my personal view. I think they now recognize the widening gap in national power. I mean, between North and South Korea, it makes them more nervous maybe. And if they insist on the unification or reconciliation, it may imply that North Korea may be absorbed. Maybe we cannot get into their psychology, but considering the overall situation, overall circumstances, they changed their policy and they changed the talking points. This is also related to their increasingly tightening control over its own people. I mean, when they say the South Korea is no longer fellow nation, is a foreign enemy, then they can tighten their control over their own people, because they can effectively block their interest in South Korea. And the related law, you may remember that 2 years ago they enacted a new law punishing the people who watch South Korean dramas or distribute dramas or the movies by death penalty. Yeah? So in such a way, they try to block information from South Korea and the other outside. That is related maybe to their change of their talking points. And nevertheless, as we repeatedly say again and again, we are open to dialogue. We are open to dialogue and negotiation and diplomacy without any preconditions. And also, even though they refuse to accept the humanitarian assistance, so we keep saying that we are ready and willing to provide humanitarian assistance regardless of political and military circumstances.
Rico?
Thank you. Thank you for taking my question. This is Rico from Nikkei Japanese Media. So as you already mentioned, the Security Council continued to be unable to take any actions on DPRK situations and also ceasefire in Gaza. So what do you think is the necessary to improve the dysfunctional situation, and also what do you think about the need for reform the Security Council?
Security Council reform is the second question. Your first question was?
My first question was, what do you think is the necessary to improve the dysfunctional situation in Security Council?
Yeah, we don't have a silver bullet. I mean, DPRK question and the Gaza question are the very extremely difficult questions. We consult with other council members and the UN member states to improve the situation. We keep trying. And the Security Council reform, that is not the agenda for the Security Council. That is ongoing discussion in the General Assembly. So maybe not proper forum to discuss the Security Council reform, but our position, the Korean position, is well known and consistent, and you can refer to our statements.
So, please.
Thank you.
Oh, no.
Thank me?
Yes.
Thank you very
please.
much. Yvonne Murray, RTE News, Ireland's public service media. My question relates, if you wouldn't mind answering in your national capacity, relates to the Indo-Pacific strategy of South Korea and specifically about your country moving closer to Japan and the United States with regard to your Indo-Pacific strategy. Can you explain the reasons behind it and how it relates specifically to Taiwan and the South China Sea? And could you also please respond to China's criticism of this move to move closer to Japan and the US? Thank you.
Taiwan question. This is important regional issue. You know our position. We always respect one China policy, and at the same time we want to see some peaceful dialogue and peaceful resolution of the issue. And the Indo-Pacific strategy is. The trilateral cooperation between among U.S., Japan, and Korea is stronger than ever, and we believe our trilateral cooperation and the enhanced partnership contribute to peace and stability in the region.
Yeah, I have a follow-up.
Last question, please.
Thank you so much. In fact, I wanted to ask it in the first place, but I forgot. It's about UNRWA, sir. UNRWA, United Nations Relief and Aid Agency for Palestinian Refugees. All the allegations against UNRWA has not been proven true. Neither the involvement in the October 7 attacks, nor in the neutrality. So what is the position of your country in supporting UNRWA? Do you agree that Israel now is about to declare a whole humanitarian organization as a terrorist organization, something unprecedented in history? Thank you.
We note the important role the UNRWA has played over the last many years, and the Korean government has been supporting UNRWA for many years, and now, currently, we still providing support to UNRWA, financially and other means. Yes.
Thank you.
So I don't see any more questions today, and thank you for coming today, joining us today, and then have a great day.